You know, it's funny. We live in a world where masculinity is treated like it's asbestos. Careful. Don't touch it. Don't breathe it. Don't even look at it. It might make someone build a shed or fix a leaky faucet without asking for permission. Like, you can't, everything you got to do, you got to ask for permission if you're a man, because that's toxic masculinity if you don't ask for permission to even do something nice. But masculinity is not toxic. Like my work clothes and work socks, yeah, that's toxic. But masculinity, no. Real masculinity is knowing the difference between when to walk away and when to fight. And it's necessary. It's having calluses on your hands and yet a soft spot in your heart for your kids, your wife, mother. It's grilling a turkey at Christmas dinner outside in the rain like you're some Viking. Like, just, but also crying when you watch The Lion King. This is the key element that most people don't seem to understand about masculinity and about emotions. You don't get the guy that cries watching a movie without the guy that blows up screaming in your face. I mean, emotions are emotions. You can have an emotion, good and bad. You're not even keel. I know someone who's crying watching a movie is probably angered at, and that's why it happens that people can't seem to understand. How could he be like that? Because he's such a nice guy. Well, it's emotions, and when you're emotional, it goes both ways. The problem isn't masculinity, it's character. Somewhere along the way, we confuse being a man with being a piece of shit. That suppresses his emotions, obviously. That's a big thing they always say about men, even though it's usually the women that are going, I don't want to talk about it. I don't know. So, but it's the men that suppress our emotions. Although when we blow up, you suppress them until you blow up. No, we just blow up immediately. There was no suppressing it before that. We weren't even thinking about it before that. So, at any rate, it works both ways when it comes to being, like, having bad character. Bad character can come from a man or a woman. And it can be extreme in a man or a woman. You can be an asshole, extremely an asshole, as a man or as a woman. Now, before you throw out your live, laugh, love signs at me or become irate that I'm talking about feminism, I mean, I'm not talking about the movement that, like, gave women the right to vote, or the movement that, gave women the right to work and has the right to have a career. No, those things I preach to my daughters. I preach it faithfully to my daughters, and I respect it. I'm talking about the modern version, the one that says we don't need a man. And most of the people that are saying they don't need a man have some guy doing their brakes for them when they go bad, are getting assistance from the government. They're getting all these different things, but they all claim that they're taking care of themselves. Now, I'm not saying it's all of them, but there's a lot of them. There certainly are, women that have jobs and can handle a career and take care of themselves. My experiences, though, most of them have a man. Most of them aren't single. Most of them respect a man's role in their role. And that's just what I noticed. That's just my opinion of it. I just think that this modern thing where it's like, we're going to replace all men because they're trash with scented candles and kumbaya and group chats and whatever you want to call it. That's toxic feminism. That, it's the world we're in today. They keep talking about equality. There was a time when we were looking for equal rights for women, equal rights for different races, equal rights but now all of a sudden everything's about revenge. It's not equal rights. It's like if you're vegan, you walk into a restaurant and you order a salad and you want to stab the cook and burn the steak. It doesn't make sense. It's not equality. It's not anywhere near equality. It is just browbeating them. And when it comes to masculinity, I think it's important. I think that the world needs a masculinity. I think that most daughters want their father to be masculine, but they don't like it when they see it out in the world, masculinity. And I think that that's one of the things that is really, hitting hard for me, especially with a 12-year-old son that's getting ready to be a white man in the world today. And he has to struggle with the idea that, he's not allowed to have his natural course of things. Masculinity is the number one thing that men are want to do, basically. And their basic goals, just like women's basic goals are that they like something shiny. That's just true. Whether women want to admit it or not, they light up when shit sparkles. It's just the way it is. Men don't do that. That's just not the way men are built. And women are built that way. We have our roles. We're salt. A little too much salt, it ruins the whole thing. I get that. I'm not saying that it's not the case. But those are assholes. That's not toxic masculinity. There's nothing wrong with a man wanting to be a man that takes care of his family, that raises his kids and works and pays the bills and maybe has to work 2 jobs to get the bills paid. There's nothing wrong with a masculine man, nothing whatsoever. It's exactly what this world needs. A masculine man is a man usually of faith, usually that has strong beliefs, which is always good. Don't ever be weak. That's showing weakness. The problem is, and I said it to a friend a long time ago, is that women in their equal rights, toxic masculinity talk that they run at us, they're asking us to be weak so they can seem strong. That's not really, that doesn't do anything. That just makes 2 weak people. That doesn't make any sense. Now, I'm not saying all women are weak, but I'm just saying when you ask us to not be what nature intends us, but yet claim the natural way of things we can't argue with, like if somebody was naturally born gay or somebody naturally is hardworking or naturally lazy or naturally, but masculine, that's our natural state, just like a woman's state is her natural state. And I would believe, in my opinion, and maybe I'm wrong, but I would believe that most women are happier that have a masculine man. And I would believe that most men are happier with a feminine woman. And I think that that's the way it's, that's the way it's the nature intended it. God intended it. It's the way it should be. There's nothing wrong with it. There's never going to be anything wrong with it. It is the design that you have a part and I have a part. And together we become whole. And that is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But you want to take masculinity away from men. And then the next thing you know, you got Diddy in the corner jerking off because he's a freaking cuck. This shit is just, men need to be men and women need to be women. And somewhere along the way, we've decided that it's not okay to be a man. And somewhere along the way, women started leaving men at the littlest time. And somewhere along the way, men stopped trying and taking care of and being men themselves. Now, I don't know if it always has to do with all these different things. And maybe, I'm sure there's people that'll think I'm toxic masculine. But at the end of the day, men have to take care of their responsibilities. And that's our job. That's to be a provider. That's what we do. It is the way things were designed. It's the way that the natural thing. Now, which I understand. Everybody goes, oh, we evolve. Well, evolve. If we evolve, then why do you tell us what you naturally want to do? Why does it, if we're evolving, why do we have to sit and listen to, that's who I am? That doesn't make any sense. If then why don't you have to evolve? Why is it that just men need to evolve and the rest of the world just does whatever childish thing they want to do? Anyways, that's our topic of the discussion this weekend. Tune in to see what's going on. All right, peace.